When Toyota introduced the first generation model, the Tacoma pickup, back in 1995, they had a very small hold on the pickup market within the United States. Little did we know that the Tacoma would eventually become the sales leader within its class of vehicle and earn a reputation as being one of the most reliable vehicles on the road. This first generation model of the Tacoma lasted through the 2004 model year, and it was considered a compact pickup. The second generation model takes over in 2005 and lasted for another decade and transitioned the Tacoma from a compact to a midsize pickup. In 2016, Toyota introduced the all-new third generation model of the Tacoma. In today's video, I want to do a comparison between the first and third generation models of the Tacoma and show you how the pickups progressed over the years. All three generations of the Tacoma have a very distinct look to them and are very popular with really strong followings. Probably the thing that makes this first generation model most popular is its size, because again, it started out life as a compact pickup and for the second generation grows into that mid-sized truck. You can see here with the first generation model sitting next to my third generation how much the truck has grown over the years. Now my truck does have a lift kit on it with bigger wheels and tires, but you can still see that the truck has grown substantially. Now the reason why this is so popular is, for starters, it's very cozy inside. You've got a really small cabin, makes it fun to drive, and likewise it's just so small that it's really great for urban settings or for going down really narrow trails off-road. You also get the functionality of a pickup with the bed in the back and a very capable four-wheel drive system, and it looks really cool. Now this first generation Tacoma did see a few updates over the years in 1996, 1998, and the most major update in 2001. In 2001, it gets completely refreshed front fascia, tail lights, wheel packages, and the interior sees a few minor updates. For this first generation, they had a number of different trim packages: a base model, pre-runner, the S-runner, the SR5, and the limited model. You could also get a number of different cab configurations. They offered a regular cab. This is the extra cab with an X, and then starting in 2001, you could get it in a double cab configuration, which offered a full 4 doors. In terms of styling, it's got a really nice look to it. It is definitely a timeless design and has stood the test of time very well. Some very clean lines throughout. Starting up here at the front, a very simple front fascia. Got a little bit of chrome on this grille and front bumper, and likewise some chrome strips on the front and rear fenders. Mud flaps, which are kind of a Tacoma trademark. And we've got the Toyota Tacoma lettering here in chrome as well. Pretty small mirrors. And then coming around to the back, nice simple design here as well with the Toyota lettering on the bed and a chrome bumper. You'll see on the side it's very clean sheet metal. We've got just a few creases, one here in the bed, one along the bottom here, and then one cutting through this front door through that front fender. All around a really great looking design. Now likewise, the third generation Tacoma is very attractive as well. With the third generation, it's got a much more aggressive athletic stance to it. You'll see that the front and rear fenders are flaring out quite a bit. Likewise, we've got the optional TRD Sport and TRD Pro hood up here, which bulges out and gives it a pretty aggressive look. And then my truck also has the TRD Pro grille here, which is bulging out, again giving it kind of that athletic look. For the third generation, available in a number of different trim packages, we've got the base SR model, then the SR5, the TRD Sport, the TRD Off-Road, the Limited, and the top-end TRD Pro model. What's really great about the third generation with all these different trim packages is that you've got a lot of options to really configure the truck and give them a very distinct look. Mine's been modified quite a bit aftermarket with upgraded suspension, larger wheels and tires, the hood scoop, and so it's a TRD Off-Road, but it looks like a TRD Pro or a TRD Sport a little bit. As far as cab configurations for the third generation, likewise we have the regular cab, the access cab, or the double cab model that I've got here. And then starting with the second generation model, when you've got the double cab, you also have the option of a long bed. So you can get either a short bed or a long bed. With the first generation model, when they came out with that in 2001, you could only get the double cab with a short bed. So you lost a little bit of utility if you decided to go that route. Now all around with the third generation, it does have a much more modern look to it. You'll see that the headlights have a really nice design with the projector beam headlights, and then the LED strips here on the side. Got fog lights in the lower bumper. Likewise on the mirrors, we've got the optional blinkers here. Gives it a pretty sleek look, and obviously these mirrors have grown quite a bit with the truck when compared with the first generation model. Likewise, on my truck, I've got blind spot monitoring. Also got a smart key for easy access to the vehicle. And then coming around to the back, you will see that we still have the mud flaps on the third generation Tacoma. My front mud flaps have been taken off because they don't fit anymore, but that is something that's still available. And then on the back, we've got the Tacoma lettering embossed here. Parking sensors, another option, and a backup camera. So still a really great looking truck, but it's definitely grown quite a bit over the years and matured as well. I think that the first and third generation models are really great looking in their own ways. But I think what's most surprising is just how much the truck has grown. Looking inside the first generation Tacoma, you see it's got a very simple design to it. It is a functional layout and build quality is good, but not a lot in terms of added features here. This model's got the front bench seats. So we've got seating for 5, 3 in the front and 2 in the rear. Center seat back here drops down into an armrest. We've got manually operated windows and door locks, manually operated seats. We do get cruise control on this lever here. Instrument cluster is very simple. It's got a temperature gauge, speedometer, odometer, and fuel gauge. Center dash, we've got a button for the hazard lights, a couple of vents, climate control below with heat and air, not air conditioning. Got an aftermarket audio system, cigarette lighter, ashtray, a little bit of storage space down below. Also got our emergency brake, gear lever, and then another lever for the 4-wheel drive system. Up above, we've got a manual dimming rear view mirror. And then to access the rear seat, got a lever here. Seat back goes forward, and another lever down here to slide the seats. You see, you've got 2 little jump seats back here. I think this is an aftermarket cup holder, so I don't think we even had cup holders stock from the factory. And then these seat bottoms fold up. We've got a little storage space down below and the floor on each side, and then likewise compartments on the side here for some storage. You also see that these rear windows vent open to provide a little bit of air to the rear seat. Otherwise, very simple back here. Coming around to the back, you will see we've got a tonneau cover here, and the bed is pretty short again because this is a compact pickup. The third generation Tacoma, for comparison, likewise has a really nice design with good build quality, but can also come with a lot of features. It's got a much more modern look to it. You'll see that likewise in my truck, I've got seating capacity for 5 with the 2 front bucket seats and 3 seats in the rear. We've got power windows, power door locks, power heated mirrors, JBL premium audio system. Seats are still manually operated on my truck, although you can now get power seats on newer Tacomas. Control for light on the bed here, power inverter in the bed as well. On the steering wheel, we've got audio controls, Bluetooth controls, also control a number of vehicle settings. Instrument cluster's got temperature gauge, tachometer on the left, speedometer and fuel gauge on the right. And then we've got a little LCD screen in the middle. It provides a number of other settings and vehicle information. Center dash here, we've got a couple vents and our infotainment system. Also got a smart key with push button start. Go ahead and fire this up. The screen duals as a backup camera. You see, you've got AM/FM radio, CD player, XM radio. You could also connect a device using a hardwired connection or Bluetooth connection. And then it's also got the ability to download a number of apps to function with that audio system. Likewise, we've got some other apps that are available on the Tacoma, number of vehicle settings here. We've got navigation. You can connect a phone and place calls over the vehicle audio system. You can receive text messages, which can be read to you over the vehicle audio system. We've got some fuel economy information here if you want to look at any the history on the truck there, setup menu for a number of vehicle settings, traffic information, weather information, several more apps in here. Got a home screen here that you can configure to your preferences. So I've got it set up with fuel economy information here, some of my favorite phone contacts, and then we've got a map over here on the right. So pretty advanced system, you know, compared with what we saw on the other model. Likewise on navigation, for example, I can push on this here, makes that larger, and we can zoom in and see more specifics. Down below, we've got heated seats for driver and front passenger. We've also got dual zone climate control with heat and air conditioner for driver and front passenger side. We've got blind spot monitoring, electronically controlled transmission, parking sensors. We've got auxiliary connection and USB connection here, and we've also got wireless charging on this little pad here. 12-volt outlet, 2 cup holders, gear shifter, emergency brake, 2 more cup holders, nice large center console, self-dimming rear view mirror with compass. The TRD off-road model is equipped with the multi-terrain select system, so we can choose a number of terrain modes. We've also got curl control, locking rear differential, traction control, and then we've also got a sunroof that is tilt and sliding using these controls right here. Looking into this rear seat of the Tacoma, you'll see that with the double cab, it's pretty spacious back here. Got 2 cup holders in the center console, and then our door compartments also have 2 cup holders built in on each side. Seat bottoms fold up in a 60-40 split. We've got storage compartments on each side down here. Likewise, our seat backs drop down. We can pull out the headrest to get this to sit flat if we want to, and it's got this material here so you can load objects into the back without damaging those seat backs. And then you'll see that likewise we've got more storage space back behind the seat here. And coming around to the back of the 3rd generation Tacoma, we've got a soft close bed, kind of a cool feature. And you'll see that inside we've got a storage compartment here and here. We've got little rail system here with hooks that are built in. And then this is the OEM tonneau cover, which folds up in 3 sections, so pretty easy to open up and provide access to the bed. We've also got that power inverter that I mentioned earlier. Switch is up by the steering wheel. We've got a power outlet back here. The 1st generation Tacoma is offered with 3 different engine options that are paired to either a 4-speed automatic or 5-speed manual transmission. The base engine is only offered on rear-wheel drive models, and it's a 2.4-liter 4-cylinder with 142 horsepower and 160 pound-feet of torque. It sees a combined EPA rating of 21 miles per gallon. On 4-wheel drive models, this is your base engine. It's a 2.7-liter 4-cylinder with 150 horsepower and 177 pound-feet of torque with a combined EPA rating of 18 miles per gallon. And then they also offered a 3.4-liter V6 with 190 horsepower, 220 pound-feet of torque, and a combined EPA rating of 16 miles per gallon. On the 1st generation, tow capacity varies from 3,500 to 5,000 pounds, and we see a 0 to 60 time that varies between about 9 and 12 seconds. Now for the 3rd generation, we've got our choice of 2 different engine options. The base engine is actually an updated version of this 2.7-liter 4-cylinder. It's now got 159 horsepower and 180 pound-feet of torque. In early years, you could get it with a 5-speed manual or 6-speed automatic, although in later years, the manual transmission option was dropped. With that 2.7, you've got a max tow capacity of 3,500 pounds. 0 to 60 will take you 10.2 seconds, and it sees a combined EPA rating of 20 to 21 miles per gallon. And then on the 3.5-liter V6 that we've got on my truck, it's got 278 horsepower, 265 pound-feet of torque, and it's paired to either a 6-speed automatic or 6-speed manual transmission. Max tow capacity is 6,800 pounds. 0 to 60 will take you 7.9 seconds, and it's got a combined EPA rating of 18 to 21 miles per gallon. So overall, going from the 1st to the 3rd generation model, we see that it's more powerful, it's quicker, it's got a higher tow capacity, and it's more fuel efficient despite the increase in size. I already mentioned that one of the things I really like about this 1st generation Tacoma is that it's got a small cab, it's very cozy inside, and it makes it kind of fun to drive. As much as I like my 3rd generation Tacoma and the larger double cab when it comes to family road trips, you've got everybody in the car and all their gear, for the 95% of the time that I'm driving around by myself, it kind of feels like overkill to have all that excess space that's not going to use. And that's one of the things that I like about this 1st generation model is that it really just feels like it's right sized. It's got just enough space for one person, you know, for the 95% of the time that you're driving around by yourself, But then for the other 5% of the time where you've got other people that need to ride with you, you've still got seats. It's just gonna be a little bit cozy inside. There's also something that's just really nice about the simplicity that you get in this first generation model. It's got the manual transmission, we've got the manual lever here for the 4-wheel drive system. Instrument cluster's got 3 gauges. We don't even have air conditioning, manually operated windows and door locks. There's not a whole lot in here that can go wrong. And there's not a lot of distractions either. There's something kind of nice about just the simplicity of just driving and enjoying the drive and not having all these other distractions. At the same time, you know, some of those modern conveniences and luxury tech features can be nice at times. It's kind of a double-edged sword in that sense. Now, the first generation Tacoma is definitely fun to drive because of that smaller size, but likewise, this 3rd generation model, which is much larger, is also fun to drive because of its larger size. It's got a much more aggressive, athletic feel to it, and likewise, because of the larger size, it's much more smooth and comfortable. The cabin in this vehicle is also quite a bit quieter, and you can just see overall that the vehicle has advanced quite a bit in terms of offering a more luxurious experience. The other thing that's really great about a modern truck is all of the modern features. Air conditioning, for example, is really nice on a hot day like this. It's currently 90 degrees outside. Navigation is nice, Bluetooth is nice, premium audio system, can't complain about that. Heated seats are great on a winter day, USB connections for charging your phones. I mean, all those little things are definitely very nice to have in a modern truck. As much as the simplicity of the first generation Tacoma is really nice from a reliability standpoint, in terms of just a very primitive experience inside, there's still something to be said about all the features that you get in these more modern trucks. Obviously, this 3rd generation model is quite a bit more advanced in terms of the powertrain than what we saw in the older model. It's got a lot more power, more torque, better tow capacity, it's faster, and likewise, it's also more fuel efficient. So there you go, that's a look at the 1st and 3rd generation models of the Tacoma. There's a lot to love about each of these 2 different generations. The 1st generation is obviously well loved because of the smaller size and the simplicity of the truck inside and out in terms of mechanics and features. That, as well as the fact that it's just got a really great classic design to it. Likewise, the 3rd generation model has come a long ways. It's much more powerful, it's more fuel efficient, a lot more luxury and tech features, and it's got a much more modern design. Either way, 2 really great trucks. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. For more Tacoma videos, be sure to subscribe. In the meantime, thanks for watching.